Hey guys, welcome to the channel and another video. Today I'm going to be watching You Only Live Twice by Lewis Gilbert, starring Sir Sean Connery. This is going to be my fifth Bond film on the channel. I've watched the previous four recently, so do check them out when you have the chance. And just so you guys know, I'm going to watch the entire James Bond franchise over the course of the year, so please subscribe if you want to go on this journey with me. Anyways, I've not seen any films directed by Gilbert, and this is one of the Bond films I have no idea about. I mean, I've heard of it, but I guess the other Connery films found more mainstream recognition. The only thing I do know is I can finally expect some more Spectre in this one, so I'm looking forward to that. And I only know that because it was pointed out by my patrons and some YouTube comments. By now, I think Connery might be my favorite Bond, but then again, I've only watched his performance, Brosnan's and Craig's. I've still yet to watch the other actors. Regardless, I'm pretty excited to see Connery back in action as 007. But before we get into it, to help support the channel, I have a Patreon page for full-length reviews and reactions to this film and over 110 movies, early access and weekly polls for what to watch next. You'll need your own copy to watch along. The link's in the description below, by the way. Please consider being a patron. Please subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon for instant notifications. Do check out my other videos. Like if you liked this video, dislike it if you didn't. With all that being said, let's get started. You Only Live Twice, Gilbert, Connery. Let's go. I heard some of these intro scenes were actually done by stuntmen. Dude, they're in space.
Calling Cape Calm. Cape Calm, this is Jupiter 16.
Everything looks good from here. You have a go for fourth orbit.
The effects aren't very convincing, but they're getting the job done.
There is an unidentified object closing on you.
You've asked from astern.
I see nothing.
Yeah, the effects are pretty good for the time, I guess.
You are breaking up. Say again.
Chris, get back in. Get back in.
Okay, this is actually pretty impressive.
What do you receive?
You are breaking up.
Come in, please. Over.
Here, this
Boy, Jupiter 16.
That's a horrible way to die. And this film has a different cold open to the previous ones. The previous ones, they were unrelated to the main story, but I think this one is.
The Soviet government denies all knowledge of this affair.
The United States intends to launch her next spaceship. Any interference with this spaceship will be regarded as an act of war.
They think it's the USSR.
A tracking station in Singapore reported faint echoes of this craft coming down in the Sea of Japan area.
Yep, Bond is definitely on the job.
Why do Chinese girls taste different from all other girls? We have had some interesting times together, Ling. I'll be sorry to go.
I'd be surprised if Bond didn't see that coming on some level.
Well, at least he died on the job.
Yeah. I don't think he's dead, obviously. I like this song. These introduction sequences, they're remarkably consistent. Screenplay by Roald Dahl, the children's writer? And Ken Adam. I finally got to know who Ken Adams is. Apparently he does all the sets, so I expect more elaborate sets from him. British naval commander murdered. That's Bond. Yeah, I'm sure it's a fake death to throw off the bad guys. Dude, is that actually Bond in there? I thought it was a decoy. It is Bond in there. Holy crap. He's already suited up and everything.
Number one, take her up 90 feet, course 0.
And I really love this submarine set. Miss Moneypenny.
Hello, Penny.
You'd better go right in.
Then where did it land?
We assume it's Japan.
Are the Japanese equipped to launch such a rocket?
Japan isn't a superpower quite yet. It's 1967, so they don't have the capability.
Go to that name and address. We've only 3 weeks before the Americans launch the next one. You know that, don't you?
Oh, yes, sir.
How was the girl?
Oh, another 5 minutes I'd have found out.
She'll never know what she missed.
Give 007 the password we've agreed with Japanese SIS.
I love you.
They're shooting him out like a cannon. Very cool. I didn't expect more underwater scenes after Thunderball, but it's a pleasant surprise. And this time around, the adventure is taking him to Japan. Wow, we're getting to see Tokyo in 1967.
Sadanayama?
Todo.
Ooh. Sumo wrestlers.
I love you.
You can slowly see the budget increase over the years. Nice car.
Mr. Henderson's waiting for you.
Your most vital contact will be Tanaka.
Tanaka,
He's head of the Japanese Secret Service.
do you have any leads of your own?
Yes, I do. That's stirred, not shaken. That was right, wasn't it? I think London's theory about the missile being fired from this country is right. I don't know how or where. A large Japanese industrial concern is...
Dude! Just as he was about to clue James Bond in, he's assassinated. This definitely adds to the mystery.
Good evening.
Good evening. All of these action sequences are shot pretty well. I can clearly tell that half the shots are by stuntmen.
Cheers.
A safe.
Get in, quick!
A trapdoor. Okay, I love the I love the direction the Bond films are taking.
I am a trifle disappointed at the ease with which I could pull you in. My name is Tanaka. Please call me Tiger.
Head of the Secret Service in Japan.
My private train. I never travel in the streets of Tokyo.
He has his own underground train network.
Who is the head of Osato Chemicals?
Mr. Oza. In Japan, men always come first. Women come second. I suppose you know what it is about you that fascinates them. It's the hair on your chest.
Bird never make nest in bare tree.
Bird never make nest in pear tree.
Aki.
Ooh. It's that Japanese spy who's already fallen for Bond, obviously.
I think I will enjoy very much serving under you.
She knows exactly what she meant by that. I love these exotic locations. Like, seriously, this is one of the highlights of the Bond franchise. Oh, he's coming back.
How do you do, Mr. Fisher?
How do you do?
X-ray machine.
I hope you are not taking any risks yourself, Mr. Fisher.
Me?
He knows.
We'll contact you later today at your hotel. Kill him.
Get down!
But for her, this is literally the second time she saved Bond. And it's not a Bond film without a good car chase. And honestly speaking, they have been improving over time.
Arrange usual reception, please.
You can literally see the city of Tokyo modernizing. No. This is mighty impressive for 1967. I would not be surprised if they actually did that for real.
Tiger, contact M.
A Japanese shipyard. My grandfather used to do business in Japan in the 80s, always used to say Japanese is a very easy language to learn, but I never found it easy.
Contact Tanaka.
I'm not leaving you.
Wow. I like this helicopter shot. Decent stunt work again. That was a switch between the stuntman and Bond. You can see the difference in the hair.
I've got you now.
Well, enjoy yourself. Actually, I'm a spy.
I know that. I'm awfully sorry to leave you, but I have to get off.
So that was the plan. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. Explosion. They actually blew... Holy crap, they actually blew up the plane.
He didn't chase her. He did it so I could get away. He wouldn't touch that horrible girl. You wouldn't, would you?
Oh, heaven forbid.
Notice, please, the water line.
You're right.
They were transporting something.
Welcome to Japan, Dad. Is my little girl hot and ready?
What am I looking at?
What is little Nellie?
Oh, she's a wonderful girl. Very small.
Oh, great piece of filmmaking here.
2 machine guns fixed. 2 rocket launchers. Flame guns, 2 of them.
So many gadgets. Dude, that's actually flying. What a great way to show that he's being followed by a bunch of other helicopters. Use your gadgets, Mr. Bond. Oh, but so cool. They're actually having an aerial battle. Oh. Now the USSR, they're launching a spacecraft. It can't be the Russians. Very rudimentary, the special effects here. I don't mind it at all. You have to judge these in the context of the time. Holy crap. Ken Adams, my man. Great work with the set design.
But can we prove it?
Of course we can't. The world isn't going to believe the Russians destroyed their own spacecraft.
So the Russians think it was the Americans, and the Americans think it was the Russians, and that's spiking tensions because they're already in the middle of the Cold War.
Reception complete. Withdraw, captive spaceship.
I think that was number 1, as in the head of Spectre.
You will see that my piranha fish get very hungry.
Piranhas. I think the previous one had sharks. This one has piranhas.
Only one person we know uses this sort of gun. James Bond.
But Bond is dead.
Don't tell me you let him go.
She failed.
Number 11 is dead.
Kill Bond! Now!
Do you have any commandos here?
I have much, much better. Ninjas. Top secret one.
I was not expecting ninjas. The Bond franchise continues to surprise me.
Rocket guns. Very powerful.
It's a fine gun.
Accurate up to 30 yards. It can save your life, this cigarette.
You sound like a commercial.
Back in the 60s, they used to promote cigarettes as if they had health benefits.
Gombawa.
Konbanwa.
I don't know about this look. It definitely does not suit Connery. Wow. He's trying to poison Bond. What a creative way to deliver poison, man. Never seen this before. At least. Oh. Oh man. I'm sorry, but he does not look Japanese at all. I wonder how accurate these costume designs are. They look very colorful and very well made at least.
Yes, but we must keep up appearances. We're on our honeymoon.
No honeymoon. This is business.
Well, I won't need these.
I got that reference.
Gas, get over the side, quick. Phosgene gas to keep the visitors away.
It's hard work.
Bond can't control himself, man. Anytime he gets the opportunity, he'll just go for it.
It's going down into the volcano.
Alright. I thought the American launch would be the finale of the film, but no, they're already launching their spacecraft. Gorgeous shot. Another one.
It's metal. Get back to Tanaka, tell him to come here with every man he's got.
Yes.
Astronauts to dressing rooms.
I wonder whether they actually built these monorails for the film. They probably did. Don't tell me Bond is going to go to space.
Good evening.
Stand back.
Astronauts have 2 minutes.
Astronauts to launching pad immediately.
Bond is going to space.
Stop that astronaut. Bring him to me.
Stop that astronaut!
Number one has a good eye.
We now have T minus 7 minutes.
Wow, this is the first time.
Remove his helmet.
For the first time, they come face to face.
James Bond. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Ernst Stavro Blofeld.
Blofeld.
They told me you were assassinated in Hong Kong.
Yes, this is my second life.
He only lived twice.
You only live twice, Mr. Bond. Remove his suit.
I love his character design. And I'm so happy we finally get to see Blofeld.
1, 0, ignition!
This has to be another miniature, right?
VT!
Crater guns fire!
I smoke.
Yes, give him his cigarettes. It won't be the nicotine that kills you, Mr. Bond.
What a fatal error. That will allow the ninjas to come in.
Close the crater.
Close crater.
I shall look forward personally to exterminating you, Mr. Bond.
Why don't you kill him right now, Blofeld? Again, great stunt work here. I love how they're destroying the entire set. A secret getaway door. I mean, yeah, Mr. Osato deserved to die for not capturing Bond, but why didn't he kill Bond along with him?
Goodbye, Mr. Bond.
Yeah, the action sequences in the third act, they're a little messy. I just realized they're so near the piranhas.
Bon appetit.
Nice.
The enemy is blown up!
All units will return to first alert.
And why would a spacecraft have a self-destruct button? Oh, Blofeld is blowing up his own base. That's a pretty efficient way to get rid of everybody. The lava does not look convincing at all. Nice.
Steady.
The explosion on top is excellent, but the lava is a little unconvincing. And I realized Blofeld escaped, which is awesome. I hope we get to see him again. I recognize the music and another similar ending to a Bond film. On Her Majesty's Secret Service. That's the next one. Okay, I took a little time to collect my thoughts. First off, that was a very good Bond film. I wouldn't say it was Connery's best, but definitely solid work. This one was pretty over the top with space scenes, and this one takes a turn to the Far East, which we haven't seen before. And most importantly, we got to see Spectre Number One, Blofeld, after 5 whole films. That was absolutely satisfying. Lewis Gilbert did a pretty competent job with the directing here, and other strengths of the film included its setting, cinematography, sets, stunt work, gadgets, and excellent villain, whereas the plot seemed a little all over the place and the pacing wasn't flawless. Furthermore, I did feel like the film was a little too outlandish and the plot itself was over-exaggerated. Let's start with the directing by Lewis Gilbert and the writing by Roald Dahl, of all people. I always knew Dahl to be a children's author, and I've read a lot of his stories growing up, so it was a pleasant surprise to find out he actually wrote a Bond script. To be honest, although I don't know how well Fleming's novel was adapted here, but the story did feel a little messy and the tiniest bit hard to follow. The secondary characters in this film were less charismatic compared to the previous two, with the notable exception of number 1, Blofeld, who exceeded my expectations, especially with his look and makeup and general demeanor. The henchmen in the previous films, they were more memorable compared to number 11 and Hans. I'm not complaining too much though, since them getting eaten by piranhas, that was pretty satisfying to watch. There were ninjas in this one, and that's something I wasn't expecting at all in a Bond film. There were modern day ninjas though, with guns and grenades. We see them fighting with swords in close range, so they got that part right. One good thing about the continuity is that the actors playing M, Q, and Miss Moneypenny returned to reprise their roles, and that really helped sell this film as a part of the Bond franchise, since it's a new director and the tone was a little different compared to the previous ones. I think this film had the least scenes set in the UK, as most of the movie was in different places around the world, mostly in Japan though. Bond himself was played excellently as usual by Sir Sean Connery. He was charismatic as usual as 007, and I have nothing but praise for his performance. I wish the story itself was a little more coherent and we got to see more scenes between Bond and Blofeld, because they barely interacted in this film, and it's been 5 movies. I hope they had more of a intellectual rivalry, but it was more of a straightforward villain. Anyways, their exchanges were great to see regardless, and I hope we get to see more. But as I was writing this review, I realized that this is the last Connery Bond film till he returns years later. It's a bittersweet moment for me, as on one hand, I'm pretty excited to see the next Bond actor, and on the other, I am going to miss Sean Connery. The cinematography of the film was pretty consistent with the previous ones, and was definitely a highlight of the film for me. Japan was shown beautifully, the volcanoes, the mountains, the landscapes, and I absolutely loved the white helicopter shots of both the actors and the scenery. The editing work was a little less impressive, since I believe it contributed to the haphazard pacing and the messy editing in some of the action sequences. They were a little confusing, especially in that inside the volcano in the villain's lair. The score of the movie was fairly decent. I loved the title song, and I appreciated that it had a different tone to its predecessors. The music itself was used minimally, and I don't believe I've heard a ton of new compositions for this particular film, although what was there was used pretty smartly and sparingly. The practical effects, they were hit and miss in my opinion. The explosions were excellent, satisfying. I really love explosions, especially practical ones like this. The space scenes looked a little dated, but they weren't too bad. On the other hand, some of the other effects like the lava didn't age well at all and looked fairly unrealistic and out of place. The stunt work was great. In some scenes I could see that it was not Connery, and they switched out with stunt people several times, and it was pretty noticeable. Regardless, the actual stunt work by the stuntmen and stunt people, they were very impressive, and especially by the ninjas in the third act. I like that. When they were, I think, rappelling down from the mouth of the volcano. Anyways, finally, the set designs by Ken Adams, they were excellent. I got to learn more of this amazing set designer prior to watching this film. One of my patrons pointed it out, and I'm truly in love with his sets. He really sets the tone for Bond films and Bond villains especially, and their secret lairs. I don't know how many Bond films he was involved in or he will be involved in the future, but I'd love to see more of his work. I've already mentioned the criticisms of the film, namely the editing, pacing, and the over-exaggerated outlandish plot. But overall, You Only Live Twice was a very good Bond film, not Connery's best, but far from being his worst. We got to see exotic locations, gadgets, space, ninjas, and Spectre Number One Blofeld. Apart from the editing and the pacing issues and unbelievable plot, Connery's final performance as Bond, at least for now, was great and definitely a classic in the franchise. Anyways, thank you for watching. I have a Patreon page. Consider being a patron. Subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon for instant notifications. Do check out my other videos. Like if you like this video, dislike it if you didn't. I will see you in the next one. Bye.